Welcome back to Sexy Mom Abundant Life, everyone. In part 2 of our conversation today, we are going to explore some exercises for getting out of judgment. Because the more we can do that, the less tension we have, the more we receive life, and we see the different possibilities. These exercises have definitely changed my relationship with almost everything. With my body, with my kids, with my parents. Oh my gosh. Well, let me just tell you this. My mom is a recovering hoarder. So there are some rooms in her house we can't actually really walk in. And that is changing to some extent. However, I really noticed the magnitude of the change that I created for myself in terms of judgment once I recognized that it used to be I could spend about 3 days at her house before getting like, I have to get out of here. And now I could spend closer to 2 weeks, and it's no big deal. So that to me was huge, because family, are some of the people sometimes who can really push our buttons. And the thing is, we create our buttons with judgment. So we can also dissolve those. So one of the first tools I'd like to introduce to you was a favorite in the online class I taught, called 5 Days of Energetic Exercises for Receiving. And that's a product in my shop. It was actually so popular, people loved how it helped them transform out of judgment, that they asked for more days. It was supposed to be 5 days, and then we added 3. And just 8 different exercises to help you receive more. And that means stop resisting life as it comes. Stop judging. So this exercise, and that is available as a product in my shop at meetkathywilliams.com. There's a shop there, and you can also get a free energetic exercise for creating your life in there as well. So this exercise, to me, has so many aspects that you can use it with. So let's take something in your body that you would like to change. All right, that could be that you have a tension, or it could be you have some adipose tissue you'd like to get rid of. Here's some condition. All right. So usually when we want to change something, we push at it. This should be different. This should change, right? What can I do to get rid of it? We're going to do the opposite. Okay. So, yes, I receive you. Immediately, usually, unless we have too much extra thinking, immediately we usually soften when we say, yes, I receive you. Oh, okay. So, for example, right now I have a tension kind of in my low back, left hip area. So instead of being like, how do I stretch it out or get rid of it, or, what do I have to do? Yes, I receive you. And immediately it softened and it kind of shifted already. So I'm not pushing against it. Yes, I receive you. Thank you for being. Right? Thank you for being opens you up to the gift that's in the situation that you couldn't have received if you were judging. Does that make sense? So when we're in judgment, we're resisting awareness, we're resisting the gift that's in a situation. When we say, yes, I receive you, thank you for being, we kind of soften and we become receptive. And in the first part of the show, we talked about that openness and receptivity, the curiosity. Right? So you can even use this with a person in your life. Okay? Or an experience that has just happened that you're not loving. Yes, I receive you. Allows you to settle. Like, not settle in a negative way, but just like allows you to soften. Maybe even take a deep breath. Yes, I receive you. Thank you for being. And maybe you're not feeling thankful. But gratitude is one of the fastest ways to get to the space of allowance. So let's do a different exercise to demonstrate this. Find a part of your body that you judge. I used to judge my fingernails. So find one that is not like this ginormous conflict for you. Something small. Not the biggest one. Take a baby step and choose something small, and later we can practice it on something larger on your own. So take something you judge. And now, like, just be aware of the judgment you have for it. And now be grateful for that part of your body. Right? Like lots of people, what I'm really aware of right now is thighs. So let's say you judge your thighs. Now be grateful for those thighs. Like, oh my gosh, they move me through the world. They allow me to balance and stand, and they're strong, and they're, gratitude. When you're in a space of judgment for your partner, or of the government, or of whatever it is, what elements can you find to be grateful for? There's something. Okay? So that's the second exercise, and you can practice this in front of a mirror even. And so, okay, I'm judging this belly. Okay, now I'm grateful for this belly. I'm grateful for the way it digests my food and protects my organs and all the different things, right? It's flexible, whatever comes to mind. And then you can use the first tool we talked about also. Yes, I receive you. Thank you for being. Because here's the thing. Usually when we're desiring to change something, we're actually coming from a space of judging it. Oh, well, I haven't worked out enough. I better work out. Okay? I haven't worked out, so my belly's fat, or I don't eat well enough, right? So New Year's resolutions are really based on that. Judgment of this thing is not right. Let me change it. If you instead come from the space of gratitude, like, I'm so grateful for my organs. I'm so grateful for this miraculous body that does so many things that I don't even think about. Can you imagine if I had to think about how to digest my food? It'd probably take all day. Right? Just as soon as I'm done, then the next meal happens, and I'm back to the start. I wonder what my body would like to look like. Back to curiosity. I wonder what it would like to eat to be in the best shape it can be in, to feel the greatest it can feel. Okay? Now we're in the space of curiosity, and I will do a whole show on that. It's a big topic. Later September or early October. So yes, I receive you. Thank you for being. And then the gratitude. Well, there's gratitude right there. And the curiosity of, okay, how would my body like to show up? What could I eat to create that? How could I move to create that? So when it's another person, let's use a relationship. Well, let's say you come to, well, I can't find anything positive about this person, right? Anything to be grateful for. All right, then aren't you grateful that you're not them? You didn't have the experiences that they had to turn out how they've turned out. Okay? That's something you could be grateful for. Wow. I wonder what kind of experiences created that. If they're being mean, they must be in pain somewhere. Right? Or have some deep unawareness. Right? I'm so glad I'm not that person. Sometimes that's all you can find, and that's okay. So getting curious. Not going into, oh, they're wrong. I don't like the way they did that. But that doesn't mean they're wrong. Doesn't mean that they're right either. Right? Right and wrong are indicative of judgment. So that's good and that's bad indicate judgment. Even the idea that something is perfect is a judgment. Right? We usually think that the negative things are judgment and the positive things are awareness. But that's not necessarily true. Okay? That person is lying could be an awareness. That person is sloppy could be an awareness. Right? It's not necessarily a judgment. Okay? What's the difference? An awareness has some sense of expansiveness, ease to it, lightness. A judgment always has the quality of confining. Because it's a limitation. You, the being, are super aware. Okay? Vastly aware. So when you judge, you actually cut off that awareness and you're confining, which is why it feels off. Right? It doesn't feel good to judge. Even the positive judgments. Oh, she's perfect. Right? Does that really feel lovely? You know, sometimes we could judge that someone's a nice person, which cuts us off from seeing where they're not. So we're going to do another exercise around judgment. And then after the break, I'll tell you this amazing story of where someone was judging someone to be nice, and they really actually weren't. I mean, it's such a profound story of like, you really can cut off your awareness when you've judged someone as nice or as mean. When you judge them as mean, you may be cutting off your awareness of the times they really are being kind. Okay? So awareness and judgment, this dance, you can just, how do you tell? Ask yourself, is this an awareness? Is it a judgment? And get a sense of what's more expansive. Right? And as you ask the question, if you're asking the question, is this a judgment? And you get a sense of expansiveness, then your awareness is telling you that it was a judgment. If you have any questions about that at all, message me at meetkathywilliams.com and I'll do a YouTube video to clarify it. Or you can make a comment, I think, on some of the locations where this is posted, like YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that. And I'll make something to really clarify that, because I know it can be like, what now? All right, so the next exercise about judgment is super simple. I got it from Access Consciousness, and we're going to do it. You can choose a situation in your life. So choose something that's not going the way you would like it to, or a relationship that's not going the way you would like it to. And this exercise is about using the phrase interesting point of view. Interesting point of view, because any viewpoint we take is only temporary. If we view it as interesting, then it's curious. Right? It's not solidifying it as this is what's right or this is what's wrong. It's just interesting. All right? So choose something that you didn't work out the way you would like it to, or is challenging for you, and think about your judgments about it, how you would like it to be different. It shouldn't be this way. Interesting point of view. I'd like it to be different. Interesting point of view. Maybe they're not really nice, or they're not really working, or this is not working out. Interesting point of view. So for each thought that you have, just acknowledge it's an interesting point of view. They shouldn't have done that. Interesting point of view. They should be, or it should be different. Interesting point of view. Life would be so much better if it were different. Interesting point of view. So keep going with all your thoughts about it. And for each one of them, interesting point of view. 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 So it may seem like a broken record. It may seem like, well, I'm just saying the same thing. But over time, and maybe you've already recognized, doing this can create so much freedom. So much freedom. And in the class that I did online that you can purchase in my shop, 5 days of energetic exercises for receiving, we did it on various elements, various things, like body, relationship. And you can start to see your judgments kind of unwind or dissipate and float away. One of the exercises we'll do when we come back, first I'll tell you that fun story, and then we'll do another exercise, super simple, super quick, that is actually probably my favorite one. So see you in just a few minutes, everyone. Thanks for listening to Sexy Mom Abundant Life.